the group BoyzllMen as far as them being artists. I think they're amazing, and I have no shade about them, their career, or anything like that. But what I will say is I did have a bad experience.
One of the problems was he had a back issue, and it could have been fixed. Instead, he stopped coming to work, and we had to move forward without him, and he wasn't really happy about that.
If you remember BoyzllMen, then you know this iconic 90s R&B group wasn't just a band. They were practically the soundtrack of our teenage years. Their soulful harmonies and those heart-wrenching ballads were totally unforgettable. We screamed, we swooned, and maybe even cried a little. But off stage, the drama was even juicier. Enter Kandi, the Grammy-winning singer and songwriter who not only penned hits for herself, but also wrote some tracks for BoyzllMen. Recently, she's been spilling the tea on her experiences with the group, revealing that the guys had some pretty shady sides that she encountered firsthand.
I love the group BoyzllMen as far as them being artists. I think they're amazing, and I have no shade about them, their career, or anything like that. But what I will say is I did have a bad experience.
And if that wasn't enough drama, Wanya Morris, the group's powerhouse, wasn't just making hits. He was making headlines with endless rumors and scandals, feuds, scandalous relationships. It was like he was living the R&B dream and starring in his own soap opera at the same time. Let's dive into the juicy details. The group, originally named Unique Attraction, was formed back in 1985 by Michael Grimaldi, Nathan Morris, and Mark Nelson at the Philadelphia High School for the Creative and Performing Arts, CAPA. They were joined by fellow schoolmates George Baldy, John Schotz, and Marguerite Walker. Then, in 1987, Wanya Morris, who sang in the school's choir alongside the members of Unique Attraction, joined the group and became a permanent member as a freshman. By 1988, Baldy, Schotz, and Walker had graduated and left the group, paving the way for Sean Stockman to join after they saw him perform a solo in the school's choir. But the real game changer came in an unlikely place, a school bathroom. Michael McCary started singing along with the group one day, and his deep bass voice was the perfect addition. He eventually became the group's new bass singer. With their permanent lineup set, the group would rehearse anywhere they could, in school bathrooms, corners of their school, and other local spots. They had a mentor named LaDiva Davis, who guided them along the way. Drawing inspiration from New Edition's harmonies and routines, they eventually decided to rename the group BoyzllMen, after New Edition's song Boyz to Men from their 1988 album Heartbreak. Then came a pivotal moment in 1989. After performing at a Valentine's Day party at their school, they snuck into a concert put on by local radio station Power 99 at the Philadelphia Civic Center. Their mission? To find Will Smith backstage and perform for him. However, fate had other plans. While looking for Smith, they crossed paths with Michael Bivins of New Edition, who, along with his bandmates Ricky Bell and Ronnie DeVoe, had just announced they were forming a New Edition spin-off trio called Bell Biv DeVoe. Men seized the moment and sang New Edition's Can You Stand the Rain for Bivins. Everyone in attendance, including other celebrities, was blown away by their performance. Bivins gave them his number and told them to call him. Nate eventually made that call, and Bivins agreed to manage and help produce the group. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. Before they could record their own material, there were reported personality conflicts, leading founding member Mark Nelson to leave the group. This departure turned Boyz II Men into the famous quartet we know today: Michael McCary, Nathan Morris, Wanya Morris, and Sean Stockman. After signing with Motown in 1991, BoyzllMen exploded onto the scene with their debut album, Cooley High Harmony, instantly making waves. Motown Philly and It's So Hard to Say Goodbye to Yesterday shot into the Billboard Hot 100's top 5, setting the stage for their domination.
It's so hard to say goodbye.
But the real bombshell came with their 1992 single End of the Road, which obliterated the charts, staying at #1 for an astounding 13 weeks. The hits kept coming with tracks like I'll Make Love to You and One Sweet Day with Mariah Carey, each reigning over the charts for record-breaking periods. They even managed to replace themselves at #1 with On Bended Knee, solidifying their legendary status. Meanwhile, in the same year, Wanya Morris wasn't just resting on his laurels. He teamed up with Black Men United and delivered the sultry single You Will Know for the Jason's Lyric soundtrack, proving his versatility and adding another dramatic chapter to his career. Being part of a hit group like BoyzllMen at such a young age inevitably stirred up drama and conflict behind the scenes. The gossip mill was always churning with rumors about potential beef between lead singers Wanya Morris and Sean Stockman. Despite the whispers and speculation, no hard evidence ever surfaced, and the two have maintained what appears to be a rock-solid brotherly bond nearly 3 decades later. Their enduring camaraderie speaks volumes about their mutual respect and tight-knit relationship.
Love you, bro.
I love you too, man. Enjoy yourself, bro. I'm about to go play some Ghost Recon.
Yeah, I'm gonna play some Call of Duty after this too. So.
Hey, much love out there, y'all.
But the real tension lay elsewhere. The real story was the dynamic among Wanya, Sean, Nathan Morris, and the original 4th member, Michael McCary. Michael's departure in 2003 shocked fans and insiders alike. The reason? Chronic back pain from multiple sclerosis, a condition he had kept secret from his bandmates. This revelation added a layer of tragedy and intrigue to the BoyzllMen saga, raising questions about trust and communication within the iconic group. In 2016, Michael opened up about his struggles on the OWN series Iyanla, Fix My Life. He recalled how he started experiencing back spasms while he was still with BoyzllMen, and these spasms grew progressively worse. By the time he was 22, the pain had escalated to full-scale attacks. Doctors told him that he had a nerve around his sciatic area that was dangerously pinched and could potentially sever if he made the wrong move, which could lead to paralysis.
Once I was about 22, it started going to full scale. They were saying that I have a nerve around the sciatica that was locked in place that could sever if I step wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's a possibility that you can be paralyzed.
This health crisis created significant friction within the group. Michael claimed that his bandmates turned their backs on him during his most vulnerable time, leading to a deep sense of betrayal. Wanya Morris had to respond to Michael's claim. In an episode of Oprah's Where Are They Now?, Wanya justified the trio's decision to continue without Michael. He explained that while they deeply cared about Michael and his health, they also had to keep the group moving forward.
One of the problems was, he had a back issue, and it could have been fixed. Instead, he stopped coming to work, and we had to move forward without him, and he wasn't really happy about that.
But the drama wasn't just limited to infighting within the group. It soon spilled over into the industry, involving other big names. One particularly notable incident featured Grammy-winning singer and songwriter Kandi. Known for her work with the group Escape and her successful songwriting career, Kandi is never one to shy away from speaking her mind. In a candid moment on her show Kandi Coded Nights, she opened up about a bitter conflict with BoyzllMen.
Love the group BoyzllMen as far as them being artists. I think they're amazing, and I have no shade about them, their career, or anything like that. But what I will say is I did have a bad experience.
Kandi revealed that she and the group had collaborated on 2 songs, Good Guy and Beautiful Women. After wrapping up the tracks, she explained that things took a sharp turn during a late-night studio session. Everything was cool and everyone was laughing and joking until about 1:30 or 2 in the morning. At that point, they were ready to call it a night, planning to return to the studio the next day to start recording the songs they had written. Kandi, wanting to clear up the business side while everything was still fresh in their minds, asked how they typically handled their songwriting splits. She knew from experience that it's best to sort out these details up front to avoid any confusion or disputes later.
It was my experience at that time that if you do collaborate with anybody, you should, try to go ahead and figure out what the splits are as soon as possible while it's fresh on your brain.
But as soon as she brought it up, the mood shifted. According to Kandi, the group copped an attitude, and what followed was a heated discussion about the percentages. After leaving the studio, they contacted her manager, trying to backpedal on the deal they had just made.
They called him back on the phone. They were like,
yeah, man, we just thought about it, and
they said, we just thought about it, and
we decided we ain't giving her the 25% on the other song. She can only get 10 on that.
Wanya Morris, known for his fiery personality, found himself at the center of this controversy. He fired back at Kandi, dismissing her career as dormant, which only fueled the drama.
Oh, go Kandi, like I did when she was doing, the records for like TLC and those other records. Like, it's been a dormant season.
And that wasn't the end of Wanya's headline-grabbing moments. His personal life was just as scandalous. One of the most talked about aspects was his relationship with R&B princess Brandy. When they first met, Brandy was 16 and Wanya was 22, a 6-year difference that felt much larger given their ages. Brandy's mom had reached out to Wanya, telling him her daughter was a huge fan. Contrary to rumors, Wanya clarified that he wasn't in his 30s when they met. Instead, he described how their relationship evolved. Brandy started as his protege, with him introducing her to key figures in the industry and even writing the theme song for her show. Their professional mentorship quickly blossomed into something more personal, creating a media frenzy. The age difference, especially with Brandy being a teenager, raised eyebrows and sparked endless speculation. Wanya explained that they spent so much time together that an intimate connection naturally developed. They fell in love, as young people often do, especially when they're around each other all the time and get to know each other deeply.
We've been hanging around each other so much that there became to be some sort of connection, an intimate connection. We actually fell in love.
In a surprising twist, Wanya and his mom even arranged for Brandy to go to prom with Kobe Bryant, despite her being his girlfriend at the time. Brandy was 17 for her prom date with Kobe, making Wanya 23. But the timeline and age gap weren't the only scandalous aspects of their relationship. Things heated up even more when rumors started swirling about a love triangle. The media speculated that Wanya was also dating singer Adina Howard while still in a relationship with Brandy. In a 2019 episode of Unsung, Adina Howard, who was notorious for her hyper-sexual persona in the 90s, opened up about how her career took a nosedive due to the backlash from her affair with Wanya Morris while he was dating Brandy.
Two young ladies allowed their egos to get in the way and were kind of going through it about a guy.
She shared how things went south when Sylvia Rohn, then vice president of Atlantic Records, caught wind of the drama and advised her to steer clear of Morris. But Howard, defiant and bold, ignored the advice and even spilled the beans about the affair to radio personality Wendy Williams. This act of defiance didn't sit well with the industry bigwigs, and it essentially stalled her career indefinitely. Fast forward to more recent times, fans who dug up the scandal started speculating that Brandy's hit song The Boy Is Mine was actually about the love triangle involving Adina Howard and Wanya Morris. The rumor mill went into overdrive, adding another layer to the already tangled web of their relationships. The reported breakup between Wanya and Brandy happened in 1998, just a few months before Brandy's 19th birthday. As of now, Wanya, who is 50 years old, continues to perform with the remaining BoyzllMen members as a trio. Despite the ups and downs, his career remains strong, boasting a net worth of approximately $60 million. Wanya has kept himself in the public eye, participating in shows like Dancing with the Stars in 2016 and appearing in various movies and shows. In his personal life, Wanya married Tracy Nash in 2002, and they have 6 children together, 4 sons, all named Wanya, who formed an R&B boy band called Wanmore, and 2 daughters. In a surprising twist, Morris married Amber Reyes in 2019 without legally divorcing Tracy, adding another layer of complexity to his personal life. As for BoyzllMen, they're still very active in the music scene. On September 30th, 2019, they announced their Asia tour, which came after their U.S. tour and Las Vegas residency. They visited cities like Kuala Lumpur on December 3rd, Bangkok on December 7th, Singapore on December 9th, and Manila on December 12th. The trio also performed the national anthem at the Fiesta Bowl on December 31st, 2022, before the Michigan Wolverines faced the TCU Horned Frogs in the college football playoff semifinals. While Boyz II Men may not be as omnipresent as they were in their heyday, their legacy lives on. They've released legendary songs that will continue to resonate with generations of fans.